You've been feeding them for months, maybe even years. You wake up early, refill the feeder before the sun is even fully up. You buy the good seed, the expensive kind. You put out sweat in the winter so they don't go hungry. You watch them every single morning with a cup of coffee in your hand and something that honestly feels like love in your chest. And then one day, you decide to step outside, just to get a little closer. And every single bird vanishes, just like that. Gone. And you stand there in your own backyard, surrounded by the feeders you paid for, the food you bought, the winter you protected them through, and you feel something you didn't expect to feel. Rejected. After everything I've done for them, you think, why don't they trust me? If you've ever felt that, stay right here, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see your birds, and more importantly, how they see you. This video is going to answer one of the most emotional questions in backyard bird watching, and I've saved the most mind-blowing part for the very end. I'm your host here at the Backyard Oracle, and if you love your backyard birds the way I think you do, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is exactly where you belong. Let's get into it. So here's the question that's really being asked when birds fly away from you. Are they rejecting me? And the answer, the real answer, is no. They are not rejecting you. They are misreading you. That's a completely different thing. And understanding that difference is going to change everything. Here's what most backyard bird lovers believe. My birds know I'm the one who feeds them. They know I'm helping them. They should trust me by now. And here's what's actually true. Birds have absolutely no idea what your intentions are. None. Birds don't interpret kindness. They don't understand charity. They didn't see you drive to the store, carry that heavy bag of seed, and carefully fill the feeder in the cold. To a bird, none of that context exists. What a bird sees when you step outside is this: a large, upright animal with eyes facing forward, which is the universal biological signature of a predator, moving directly toward them with a fixed, focused gaze. Sound familiar? That's because that's exactly what a hawk does before it strikes. You weren't acting like a bird lover. You were accidentally acting like a predator. And your birds responded the only way their biology allows them to. They fled. This isn't personal. This is survival. Birds have been shaped by millions of years of evolution to respond to certain shapes, movements, and behaviors with immediate escape. That wiring doesn't turn off just because you put out sunflower seeds. It doesn't matter how many winters you've kept them fed. The moment your body language matches the profile of a threat, their brain overrides everything else. The painful irony is this: the more you care, the more you probably stare. And the more you stare, the more dangerous you look. Walking straight toward your feeder with purpose, that's a predator on approach. Watching the birds with focused, direct eye contact, that's a hunting gaze. Moving deliberately across the yard, that's an animal that has a target. Every single behavior that comes naturally when you're excited to see your birds, the walking toward them, the watching them, is the exact behavior that triggers their escape reflex. You didn't fail them. You weren't doing anything wrong on purpose. You were just never taught how birds actually process the world around them. And once you understand that, once you see yourself through their eyes, everything changes. Because now you're not asking, why don't they trust me? You're asking something much more solvable. How do I stop looking like a predator? That's the real question, and the answer is coming. But first, I need to tell you something about the way birds actually build trust, because it's nothing like the way humans do it. Most people think bird trust works something like human trust. You show up consistently. You're kind. You provide. Over time, the relationship deepens and the other party starts to open up. That's not how birds work. Bird trust is not emotional. It is statistical. A bird does not think, this human has been good to me. A bird runs a continuous, unconscious survival calculation that goes something like this. Has this thing ever harmed me? No. Has it come near me before without harm? Yes. How many times? Many. Threat assessment? Reduced. Trust, to a bird, is the accumulation of uneventful encounters. That's it. Every time you appear in your yard and nothing bad happens, you're making a deposit into that account. Every time you move suddenly, make a loud noise, or approach too fast, you make a large withdrawal. The goal isn't to impress them. The goal is to become so consistently harmless that they simply stop categorizing you as a risk. And here's what that means practically. The answer to earning bird trust is not becoming friendlier. The answer is becoming boring. I know that sounds strange, but think about it from the bird's perspective. The most dangerous things in a bird's world are unpredictable. A cat that lunges, a hawk that dives from nowhere, a child that suddenly runs and shouts. Unpredictability equals danger. The safest things in a bird's world are completely predictable. The same tree branch, the same fence post, the same steady hum of the world in the background. Your job is to become part of the background. That means same door, same jacket or clothing, same slow, indirect route through the yard, same chair, same time of day. Every single day, when you vary nothing, you become scenery. And scenery doesn't get fled from. Start by spending time outside near your feeders without moving toward them at all. Sit in a chair at a comfortable distance, face slightly sideways and not directly at the birds. Let your eyes go soft instead of locking onto them. Read a book, drink your coffee, just exist. At first, the birds will still keep distance, but something is already happening. They are watching you. They're registering that you appeared and nothing bad occurred. They're logging that data. Come back tomorrow, same time, same spot, same behavior, and the day after, and the day after that. After several days, you'll notice the first sign of progress. The birds stop flying away the moment you step outside. They might move to a slightly farther branch, but they don't flee. That's not a small thing. That is a measurable shift in their threat assessment of you. Then, after more days, something even better happens. One bird doesn't move at all, usually a chickadee. Chickadees are bold, they're curious, and they are, as you're about to find out, far more important to your progress than you might think. When one bird holds its ground while you're nearby, that is a breakthrough. Don't react. Don't look directly at it. Don't lean toward it. Just let it happen. Let it be unremarkable, because what that bird is doing is deciding, based on everything it has observed, that you are not a threat. Now here's where the story gets genuinely fascinating. Birds watch each other, constantly. In a mixed backyard flock, your finches, sparrows, nuthatches, and chickadees, birds are continuously monitoring the behavior of other birds for social cues. If one bird panics, the whole flock panics. That's well known. But the reverse is also true. If one bird is calm around you, the other birds notice. Chickadees, specifically, function as what scientists sometimes call information hubs in mixed flocks. Other species don't just coexist near chickadees, they actively follow their behavioral cues. When a chickadee treats you as safe, it is broadcasting that information to every other bird watching. That one chickadee who holds its ground, it becomes your ambassador. You don't need to win over every bird in your yard individually. You need to win over the right bird first, and let that bird do the rest of the work for you. Which means the path to a yard full of trusting birds doesn't start with the whole flock. It starts with one. Now, and I want to be honest with you here, the path isn't perfectly smooth. There will be a morning when progress feels real. A chickadee at close range. Maybe two. You're sitting in your chair, the yard feels calm, and something that feels like belonging starts to settle in. And then a delivery truck backfires on the street, or your phone rings loud, or you simply stand up too fast, and every bird is gone, and that feeling comes back. That defeated, deflated feeling, like you're back to square one. I need you to hear this clearly. You're not back to square one. Here's something that sounds harsh, but is actually deeply reassuring. Birds learn danger faster than they learn safety. This is not a flaw, this is a perfectly engineered survival feature. An animal that takes 3 weeks to learn something is dangerous, and only one bad encounter to file it as a threat. That animal stays alive. When your birds scatter after a startle, they are not erasing everything they know about you. They are responding to a single high-alert stimulus. The baseline data, all those quiet mornings, all those uneventful appearances, is still there. It takes much less time to rebuild after a setback than it took to get there the first time. The birds are not starting over. They're recovering. There's a difference. Give them an hour. Come back to your chair. Be boring again. And watch how quickly the yard returns to the level it was at before the scare. Because the memory of safety doesn't disappear. It just gets temporarily overridden, and it comes back. This is the part of the process that tests most people. The setback feels like failure when it's actually just biology. Stay the course. And now, this is the part I told you to stay for. This is the part that changes everything. You've been wondering, through this whole video, whether your birds even notice you, whether all those mornings mean anything, whether you're truly visible to them or just a vague shape in the background of their world. Here is the truth, and it's one of the most remarkable things I've ever learned about backyard birds. They have been studying you this entire time, not passively, actively. Birds, including the common species visiting your feeder right now, can recognize individual human faces. Research has shown this with crows and pigeons, but behavioral observation strongly suggests it extends to other species as well. More than that, they track the behavioral patterns of individuals they encounter regularly. Your birds already know which door you use. They know the sound of your voice. They know the color and shape of the clothing you typically wear. They know what time of day you usually appear. They know how fast you move. They know your habits. They have been building a profile on you, quietly, patiently from a safe distance, every single day you've shown up in that yard. You were never invisible to them. You were always being watched, assessed, remembered. The question was never, do my birds notice me? The question was always, what story are they telling about me? And here's the beautiful thing. You get to write that story. Every morning you go outside, every calm, slow, predictable, non-threatening visit, every time you sit down and let them exist near you without pressure or pursuit, you are authoring the narrative that your birds carry about you. You began this video asking, after everything I've done for them, why don't they trust me? And now you know the real answer. They don't distrust you because they don't care. They've been paying close attention this whole time. They just needed you to learn their language, the language of stillness, repetition, and patience, so they could finally file you where you belong, not as a predator, not as a stranger, but as a safe, familiar, trusted part of their world. That's the journey. And you're already on it. If this video helped you see your backyard birds differently, please subscribe to the Backyard Oracle. Hit that bell so you never miss what's coming next, and drop a comment below. Have your birds ever surprised you with how much they seem to notice about you? I'd love to hear your story. I'll see you in the next one.